Alright everyone, welcome back to another video. Last time we left off here, showing off the parachuters in Britain. Now on to here. South African troops push into Italian Somaliland. February 15th to 25th, 1941. The capital falls. The South African and Gold Coast troops advancing into Italian Somaliland occupied on February 11th the military center of Afamado, and on the 15th captured the port of Kismayu. The British fleet cooperating with the attackers. Okay, sorry, I gotta readjust here. I'm sitting super uncomfortably. Jumbo was taken on the 23rd, and the way opened to the capital, Mogadishu, which fell on the 25th. Some of the Italian native troops who were taken prisoner are shown above. On the left, top right, a British doctor examines a wounded prisoner. Below left, some of the guns and equipment captured from the Italians. Right, inhabitants of Mogadishu under the shadow of the faces. No, fascists. Fascists? Is it supposed to be saying fascists? I don't get facetious. I don't know. Watch with interest. Naval vessels off the capital. I think that's supposed to be faces, but that doesn't seem right. So those are the Italian native troops that were captured in the exchange. Here's the guns and the equipment that was captured by the Italians after they were defeated. Here is a British doctor treating a Italian captured troop, so a prisoner of war, making sure that they're not in unwell health. And then here we see those civilians of Mogadishu looking at the naval that's out in the distance there. The distaff side plays a big part in the British war effort. February 1941. The women go to it. As the armed forces and war industries absorbed additional men, more and more women came forward to fill their places. Top left, a girl mechanic is at work on the machine gun parts. We'll just show that now. You see right there, there's a mechanic, a woman mechanic working on parts. Center, women training to be bus conductors. And we'll just show that again. Here we see them training to be bus conductors, although right this second, it doesn't really look like they're doing much of anything but walking. On the right, women porters at a railway yard. Here we see them moving all this stuff. Bottom left, Britain's first woman signalers learning the job. So here we see they're learning. Oh, whoa, that was really weird. Just doesn't want to focus here. Give me 1 second. Try to give it something to focus on. Yeah, see, we see those women learning the job. And then what's the last one? And then the right, girls loading a mail train at London Terminal. Yeah, and it always is crazy to me to see some of these older pictures of mail, and it's just these huge bags like this, like Santa Claus, really, things like that. But yeah, this time women aren't very prevalent in the workforce in most of the world. It's just how it was. They didn't there wasn't a big place for them previously because the culture of the time, just, women shouldn't go to work, they should stay home. But as World War II continues, many of, as they said, the war effort is taking away the men to the front lines and things like that. So they need workers. Well, there's all these women. Have them work. So I guess one upside to the war, which there's not really many upsides to this war, but one upside to the war is that women's rights actually gets up very high because a lot of women get jobs and, income that they never had previously. Bulgaria joins the Axis. Sofia occupied by the Nuno Germans. March 1st, 1941. Bulgaria accepts, it's doing it again, new order. Bulgaria had frequently reiterated her intention of maintaining neutrality, but at the end of February, it became obvious that the pretense was wearing thin, and on March 1st, the premier, Prof. Filof, flew to Vienna, and there, top right, signed a pact with the Axis. Oh, dang it! Why is it doing this today? I am so sorry about that. In Funny Mustache Man's presence, I almost said his name. Filof is seated left, with Ribbentrop center. So, the left, right there, that's Filof. And I believe that's supposed to be Ribbentrop. And, yep. And then Count Ciano is right there. Top left, German Stuka dive bombers flying over Sofia. So there's the Stukas. As hints that quick signature would be advisable, below left, German tanks enter Bulgaria, which the Nuno Germans had already begun to occupy as the pact was being signed. Right? Are German tanks in Sofia. But there's the tanks entering Bulgaria here. And here they are entering Sofia. And yeah, so a lot of the Axis joining powers, and I used air quotes there, are actually kind of strong-armed into it because they can't fight the Germans and they're not as scared of anyone else. Like the British at this point are by themselves, so they're not scared of them. So they kind of get strong-armed into joining the Axis. I think it's trying to remember which country. It's either Bulgaria or Romania joined both wars and both on the losing side, but didn't lose anything during the end of the war, and also in World War II they gained territory. I think it's Bulgaria, but it's really goofy. It's like, oh yeah, you guys lost, but here's some territory. They felt bad for him, you know? King George greets a new ambassador. March 1st, 1941. New envoy to the court of St. James. On February 10th, it was announced that John G. Winant would succeed Joseph P. Kennedy. Now, that Kennedy sounds familiar. It's because any American should know who that is. That is John F. Kennedy's father. He was the American ambassador. Obviously, when this book was written, he wasn't very important. But, yeah, Joseph P. Kennedy was America's ambassador. He gets removed more or less because he was kind of a German sympathizer. He tried to I think, broker a peace between them all. Yeah, he caused a few blunders, and he kind of looked bad for America, so we got rid of him. And then later his son becomes president. So that's always kind of kind of funny. And also his son fights in this war. John F. Kennedy is in this war in the Pacific later on. But as an American ambassador to the court of St. James, Mr. Wynant arrived in England on March 1st and was welcomed to London above by the king. Below, seated left to right, Lord Moyen, Colonial Secretary, Lord Cranborne, Dominion Secretary, Mr. Wynant, and Winston Churchill, signing the agreement providing for the lease of air and naval bases in British possession to America. So there we see Mr. Wynant being greeted by the king, which, great to see the ambassador for once. We don't see him very often. And there we see all those gentlemen lined up, as the list I gave earlier said. And yeah, this was kind of payment for the destroyers and a few other things that America gave the United Kingdom. It was kind of like a trade-off kind of thing. So they were more fine with it. But brilliant Allied raid on Norway. March 4th, my bad, 1941. Loften Islands raided. Oh my gosh. Today is just not my day. It does not want to stay thing. I am so sorry, you guys. On March 4th, British troops and light naval forces, aided by Norwegians, Marines and Norwegian Marines carried out a raid on the Loften Island near Narvik. They destroyed the fish oil production plant, sank 11 enemy ships, took a number of prisoners, brought off about 300 Norwegian patriots, and left supplies for the civilians. Little opposition was encountered and no casualties suffered. The picture shows a motor landing craft with troops aboard, making for the shore to effect the landing. Yeah, the Norwegians fight all the time. They don't give up. They don't want to see their country occupied by the Germans, so they will fight for it with the help of the Allies. And they fight to the bitter end. Well, I say the bitter end. They fight to the end. They get their country back like they wanted, which good for them. All right, well, that's gonna do for this video. If you guys liked the video, leave a like. If you didn't, leave a comment. Tell me what I can improve on. I already know I can improve on trying to make my phone focus. That's for sure. And as always, subscribe. It really helps out, and I am always glad to see you guys come back for these videos. Thank you.